Roberts back with you, joined by Andrew Morales, UC Irvine, All-American candidate, the right-hander, junior first in the program, 9-0 on the year. He has 4 more starts in the regular season coming up, including this Sunday at UC Santa Barbara, and then, of course, we hope a whole bunch in the postseason. Good enough to stay with us for another segment. It's quite a story how the Anteaters were fortunate, and now as it turns out, you were fortunate for the Anteaters to find you, keep pursuing you, and come here. But it appeared like a year ago when the UC Irvine first went after you that wasn't going to happen. Tell us a little bit about the story of how you got here and, the courtship, which actually lasted about a year and a half.
Well, what happened was I first got contacted by Coach Gillespie in fall when we played College of the Canyons, and he gave me a call after the game and expressed his interest, and that was about what I heard from it. There's a lot of regulations on how much they can talk to you and things of that sort, so I got a couple of those from different coaches, and going towards the end of the season, which was pretty late to even get considered. A lot of teams already had their roster full, and by that time I got a couple more calls, a couple offers, and UC Irvine was a great program, great school, and which was a big factor for myself. And that's when I got called finally in June, and basically made the decision to verbal there, stopping pretty much anything else that I had going on, and finally got together with when Dietrich was here. He was actually recruiting me at that time, and got to meet the coaching staff, and it was all in the books after that.
Yeah, it's been an absolute perfect marriage between player and coaching staff. Are you enjoying school itself, the curriculum, and just being a student athlete, some of the kids you meet in classes, and some of the other activities that go on besides your busy baseball schedule?
Yeah, well, with baseball, it's kind of hard to really get into much, but and especially since we spend so much time together, we're pretty much together in classes too. So, but school here is great. The teaching staff's really great. I've been learning a lot, especially as a public health major, and
Good.
But school's tough, and it's really a challenge to balance things out, but I've been doing pretty well so far.
Any idea of where you might pitch this summer when you go up to a summer league? Has that been discussed?
With the innings I've been racking up, I do not think I will be attending summer ball this year, but it's still up to
save the
Coach
arm.
Gillespie.
Yeah,
he had a couple conversations with me saying that as I get near 100, he's not sure if he wants to tax me for another 40 during the summer.
Sure.
So it's kind of a day-to-day thing, but we'll see from there.
Maybe you'll be hanging out and helping him out with some of the summer baseball camps and all
Possibly.
that. See even more Mike Gillespie. I've talked to your dad just briefly. He is a very polite, wonderful man. We talked about how proud he is of you, and your entire family is. You have a younger sister, an inspiration. Tell us a little bit the story and how she inspires you, and the courage that she has shown.
My little sister is a light, to say the least. She's my hero, and she's definitely the hero of my entire family. In 2011, she was diagnosed with cancer, and she's been in remission for about a year now. I'm correct, and it's been a tough journey. She's still going through a lot herself. She's still growing up.
Sure.
It's really hard to remember. Sometimes she's only 13, and but she's doing really well with school. She's a very bright individual, and she brightens up the entire room when she walks in it. Not a bad bone in her body. She's the most happy. She's very happy all the time, and she's really something to look up to.
The simple pleasures of life, huh?
Definitely.
I'm sure she's been able to come out to a game or two to see you.
She hasn't missed one yet.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, she was there in Pacific.
Yeah.
I think The only one she wasn't there at was Provo out in Utah.
Right, and that was like 30 degrees up there anyway. Yeah, nobody wanted to watch a game in an ice box up there. But yeah, that's it. Now you have an older sister too. Tell us a little bit about her.
She turns 23.
And
her name is Christine.
Yeah.
She's my older sister. She turns 23 this week. May 3rd is her birthday, and she's my hero as well. You know, she's taken care of me since I was little. We went to the same school together a couple times growing up, and you know, there's been times where she's kind of picked me up on my end where I remember a couple times during high school when she graduated and I forgot my socks for baseball, I forgot my stirrups or my belt, and she would drive them to me and kind of help me out that way. And she's always been looking after me ever since I was little.
Wow, that's neat. That's neat. Now, you're listed as being from Covina, the city of Covina. Does the family still reside there?
Yes, we do.
Great.
We lived there in the house we're currently at for 11 years, I believe, and before that, I think it was like 7 or 8 years.
And again, what high school did you attend?
I went to South Hills High School.
Did you play any other sports there?
I played soccer.
Ah, footwork. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Sure. What position?
I was a goalkeeper in
Goalie.
soccer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you enjoy that?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I only lettered 1 year there. It was more of a means for conditioning, but
for the baseball.
definitely, and you know, baseball was my main focus throughout my high school years. So, but it was fun to play a different sport. It was something new.
Oh, of course. Are you excited about the World Cup being next year?
Definitely. I actually wanted to go to Rio de Janeiro to
Yeah.
go watch it.
Yeah.
One time. It would be a fun experience.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, it's the biggest event in the world, you know.
Yeah.
Biggest one-day event, Super Bowl. The biggest overall event is the World Cup and all that. Do you follow any other sports? Do you have any local teams in LA? The Dodgers, Angels, Lakers that you follow? Anybody like that?
No, just a baseball fan in general.
Yeah.
I love watching any game that's on. I do like watching hockey. I'm a Kings fan.
Okay. Well,
So,
boy, did you have a year last year.
Definitely.
What was that all about? That was quite a run, huh?
That was a great run. They got hot at the right time, and it started with the goalie. Quick was back there making a ridiculous save percentage with like 960 something.
He added himself to the names of some of the great goalies that have the great runs going back to the 70s, all through the 80s, 90s, and yeah, his name is there. Any pitchers at the professional level that you keep an eye on that might be a favorite? Just their style, something about them, or something you admire about them?
I like Kershaw. I like the way Kershaw pitches and
Oh,
carries
he's my
himself.
favorite.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I know he does a lot of work with the hospitals and stuff like that. And
They build orphanages, him
Yeah.
and his wife over in Africa. Isn't that amazing?
He's a great guy all the way around, and his style of pitching, the way he attacks batters, and two-time Cy Young winner in the last couple of years, and he's a great inspiration, even though he's a lefty.
You're very, very bright, very high baseball IQ. A Hall of Fame pitcher who I interviewed once told me on the air, Don Drysdale, great Dodger of the 60s with Sandy Koufax, that when he was pitching on the mound, and he's a right-hander like you now, he was sidearm, you're three-quarters, but you know, not that far apart, the release point, that he watched the hitter's feet. And he could tell what the hitters were thinking or what they were guessing, the kind of pitch, by watching their feet. Do you do that?
I don't. I've never heard that before,
Yeah.
but I mean, he was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And he,
Well, that was just his style. I
Yeah,
mean,
and but I mean, studying the batters helps a lot. You see their tendencies to swing at balls in dirt, chasing curveballs.
and again, Drysdale, at that time, there were 7 other teams in the National League. So he saw Hank Aaron, and
Yeah.
Hank Aaron, you couldn't, you know, it didn't matter with him. He saw Hank Aaron 4 or 5 times a year, pitched against him, you know, and pitched against his teammates. So there was a repetition of that. You're seeing a guy once and maybe never seeing him again. So maybe that equation helps more once there's a repetitiveness and a knowledge batter, pitcher, and pitcher, batter. But
Yeah.
it's something that I always remembered and thought, hey, you know, I've got to ask Morales about that today. He's a pretty smart guy. Well, okay, so you're going to Santa Barbara this weekend. You got UCLA tonight. And by the way, the UC Irvine baseball game will be on in about 10 minutes right after our show here. Boy, you had the Bruins and you let them off the hook last time. That would be nice to get them tonight. I think it's a big game, don't you?
It's a huge game.
Prestige game.
It's a huge game, especially for RPI, and a little more of a rubber match since we kind of let them slip away. We had them down, and but we're going to come out fighting, and I'm pretty sure we can get this one.
And you're feeling confident about the team now, having Jeff Stevens back. Mikey Doherty is now healthy, so some of the position guys are good. And so far now, the staff has been pretty healthy. That's a real key down the stretch, isn't it? Health.
Yes. As long as you can have guys in the bullpen but if they're not healthy, it's not going to be any good to us. But the training room has been a great help to us all, and our trainer Mike Green has been keeping us pretty healthy.
Yeah, he does a nice job, and he just started here a couple of months ago, and he really fits in good. Hey, Andrew, it's been a pleasure to have you here today. 9-0 on the season, ERA of $1.50, continued success, and I'm going to look forward to a lot of trips with you in June after the regular season to go postseason. But thank you for being part of our show, and I hope you'll come back next year.
Thank you for having me.
All right. The great Andrew Morales, undefeated right-hander for the number 21 team in the country, the UC Irvine Anteaters, who take on the UCLA Bruins on this station in a few moments after our broadcast. We'll take a break, be back with our roundtable session and Fumi Kimura right after this as you listen to the Blue and Gold Report on KUCI.